What if we wanted to use the $route object? Maybe also because we're not just interested in our route parameters, but in the query parameters or in the path. Now, as mentioned before, this keyword does not exist here, so we can't access this $route and we can't access this $router. But we can import something from ViewRouter that will help us. We can import a couple of built-in hooks, also called composables. Now, what are hooks or composables? In the end, these are different terms for a special kind of function. Hooks, composables, custom composition functions. These are special functions written in JavaScript which are built for the composition API, so for being used inside of the setup method. These functions internally typically use some composition API features like refs or computed. In a separate module later about reusing functionality, you will learn how to build your own hooks, your own custom composition functions. Here, the ViewRouter team did this for us, and it's giving us a couple of functions, a couple of composition functions, also called hooks or composables, which you can call inside of the setup method to then get access to certain features that work together nicely with the composition API. And useRoute, for example, allows us to get access to this route object. Here, like this. If we do this, I can console log route here. And if I do that, save this and reload, and open the console, we see that is a reactive object and therefore a proxy with all that route data in there. And since it's reactive, we can of course watch it or use it in computed props to update any data that depends on it whenever route changes. So with that, instead of props PID, we could also use route params PID here. That would be possible. And then of course we don't need props. So if we use that, go to the carpet, it works just as before, but now using this route object, which we get with help of the useRoute hook or custom composition function, also sometimes called composable, whatever you want to call it, which is provided by the ViewRouter package. And another composable, another hook, which is also provided by ViewRouter, can help us with the programmatic navigation in add product. Here, in submit form, in this function, I want to navigate to the all products page as soon as a product has been added. In the options API world, we would use this router push and then go to /products, for example. In the composition API world, the this keyword doesn't exist and hence this doesn't work. But again, the ViewRouter team has got us covered. From ViewRouter, we can import useRouter. So not useRoute like before, but now useRouter. And we can call this anywhere in our setup method, like this, to get access to this router object. And now we can simply call router push, using that router object we create by calling that custom composition function provided by the ViewRouter team. So if we now save that and go to add product, and I enter some data and click add product, we're navigated to the all products page. And that is all I wanted to show here. This is how you can use the ViewRouter in components that use the composition API. Generally, the router works just as before. You define routes in the same way, and you can use all the features you learned about. But when it comes to dynamic parameters, possibly passed to a component as props, or when it comes to using the route or router object, This is how you can use these features, by using the custom composition functions provided by the ViewRouter package, or by using props as I showed it to you a couple of minutes ago.